Hey, I think it's time that I share my story. And while I've never really... Be nice! Well, I've never really shared it on the internet because, honestly, I don't know how people are going to react to it. Or more how my family is going to react to it. It's time I let go of it. And the way I'm going to let go of it is by sharing it. So, my life started out as I was basically an accident. From what I understood, neither one of my parents really wanted me in their life. I was technically at my parents' wedding when they got married because I was in the process of being born and stuff like that. We come back to the hospital, or we jump forward to the hospital. The nurse didn't do her job right, so my vision got messed up because of it. Now I have to live with glasses. Probably forever because, honestly, nobody can fix nystagmus. They had to pull right here to get me out, causing me to have glasses at a very young age. At some point, my parents were afraid I would never walk because I still wasn't walking by a certain age, and I had to have ankle braces to be able to walk and learn how to walk. As time went on, my mom started working night shifts at Walmart. And to be honest, most of the time when I was home with my dad, he would just play video games and pretty much ignore the fact that I exist. Eventually, when I was 5 or 4, I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it was 5. Buddy, get out! My parents got divorced. So I was switching between the two. And on the weekends, I would go to my dad's. And that was nice because my grandparents would actually spend time with me. Which was a new change of pace because when I was a kid, I grew up in a neighborhood that didn't have a lot of kids. So I had to make up imaginary friends. Because of the fact that nobody really wanted to be my friend. This is gonna be a long video. And while living with my grandparents and my dad on the weekends, my uncle was, and more than likely still is, a alcoholic and an addict. I haven't seen him around recently, and kind of glad with that, because a lot of stuff that I don't want to get into happened with my uncle between me and him when I was 5, and I honestly don't really want to get into that because it's too much. But I do know that he, and what I will say is that while he was actively drinking and using, he would beat my grandparents and hit them and stuff like that. And then my dad had to tackle him through the front door into the yard as the police constantly came to get him. And then he kept constantly coming back. I honestly kept getting bullied in elementary school because my name is April, so every single day on April 1st, people would point at me and make my name the joke. No pranks, no nothing, just my name itself was the joke. And I had a lot of people in elementary school that would pretend to be my friend, pretend to care. And then just after that, once they got what they wanted from me, I didn't exist anymore. And that carried all the way through middle school. And by the time it carried into middle school, I was like, okay, whatever, I'm used to this. I started hiding in the bathroom in middle school because I was afraid of getting used and then thrown away. So I ended up getting sent to Boys Town. And I stayed in Boys Town. I transferred back once. I started transferring back in 8th grade. They fully threw me into 9th grade because the same thing was happening in Boys Town. People would pretend to be my friends and use me for what they wanted and then threw me away. And it hurt. Every single time. They threw me. Hey, be nice. They threw me back into Elkhorn They threw me back into Elkhorn once 9th grade hit. And I didn't do so well with that because honestly it was the same thing. People using me for what they want, pretending to be my friends, pretending that they cared, pretending that they wanted to date me, just so they could get what they want and leave. Ended up going back to Boys Town. I never ever started to transfer again. Boys Town again in high school was the same thing. People pretending they liked me, pretending that they cared, again, just to get what they wanted out of me. And then they would leave. I would get constantly threatened. And when my mom brought it up to the Boys Town teachers and staff, they said, no, everybody likes her. She doesn't have a problem with anybody. When in reality, I did. And they overlooked it and wouldn't do anything about it. I eventually started taking pills, medication, just to forget it all, to try and end it all. And I started that, honestly, in middle school. Because I got tired of it and I couldn't take it anymore. Dated the same person like 5 times because I thought he would be different. I thought it would all change. Hey! Behave yourselves! It never changed. It was always the same. And I thought, it'll be different when I'm an adult. People will actually care about me. Honestly, it's not any different as an adult. It's the same thing. People pretending they care and then leaving me. To the point to where half the time I don't even believe my family on the fact that they love me. It's gotten to the point to where I don't trust my family. I went most of my adulthood, or the adulthood that I have lived, and I'm 22. I went from the end of high school to 21, and 21 I started dating a person who turned out to be extremely toxic. But through that person that turned out to be extremely toxic, I met Be Nice, Precious, Be Nice. I met the person that I loved, and that I still love. And that I hope comes back. I really hope he does. I really hope we can build our relationship again. 'Cause I truly do love him. And I'm sorry for the stuff that I put him through. Honestly, if he would have told me I would have tried to fix it. And I really hope he comes back into my life. And that we can build that relationship, because for the first time in my life, my head and my heart agreed on the same thing. And that's honestly never happened. Ever. He came, I lived with him for a bit. He came to my house, my dad's house, because I ended up living back here in the basement full of mold, and I'm continuously, honestly, getting sick. And my dad and Ellie, they don't care that I'm continuously getting sick from it, that I continuously feel sick. It sucks. But at the same time, I'm used to it. But when he came to drop off my stuff, he never said it was over permanently between us. All I got from them was that he needed space and that he needed to work on himself. My friends got a couple more things from him, I guess. And so did my mom when she went to get the stuff I was missing. I'm honestly really, really hoping that it was the right person at the wrong time. Because through all the trauma and everything, he made it bearable. He made it easier to live through. I'm really hoping that there's a possibility for us in the future, because honestly, he understands me more than anybody that I've ever met.